we're going to take a little break from college football because I've got this story that I've been working on for quite some time. Of course, we know how big high school football is on our First Coast. We've got some of the best talent and recently in the quarterback position. Now, if you look at the St. Augustine Yellow Jackets, they're having a pretty good year, and they're led by their quarterback, Locklan Hewlett, the University of South Florida commit. His dad, by the way, you know what? I won't tell you anymore. I'm just going to introduce you to the story. Let's meet the Hewletts.
Going into his senior year, we've been able to still live together and then coach him up on the field.
Will and Locklan Hewlett, the father and son duo representing the quarterback room at St. Augustine High School. Will, who grew up in Australia, had a journey on the gridiron himself as a quarterback, and for the past 2 decades, he's given game to the next generation of quarterbacks.
Good ball. Get one more.
He serves as the quarterback coach at St. Augustine High School, the same team led by his son Locklan, who spends his Friday nights as QB1.
I father-son relationship frequently in a coaching world. It's hard to separate being dad and then being a coach.
Getting in the car after the game, there'll be like maybe 5 minutes of talking about it, and then it's gone. Like football's over, the week's over, it's going to the weekend, and it's awesome to have that, like not being overloaded with football.
The quarterback position is arguably one of the toughest positions in sports. The commitment to be one of the greats is not for the faint of heart.
You just got to not get too much here.
I think he was 9 years old, maybe 10 years old when he came to me. He's like, Dad, I want to play quarterback. So we had a real conversation at that age. Like, okay, so you're picking quarterback, and that's fine, but understand because of what I do, you're going to be criticized differently. The pressure will be there when it shouldn't be, and he never shied away from it.
Finding balance between when to be dad and when to be coach is certainly a delicate balance.
Punch through with the hitch and put a little air on it. Just like treat it right.
So many times where I would just start crying in the middle of a session. I'd get frustrated. He never pushed me too hard without me asking for it, and I think that's really important to have that.
I think it took a little bit for him to fully trust, ironically, that I know what I'm doing, because it still is just Dad. But there was enough moments where on the field, the little light bulb moment was would go off in his head, and I remember specifically a couple times where I would be like, see, your dad does know what he's talking about.
Try to get yourself warm in the middle and just keep that good posture. Don't try to throw hard. Stay naked in the pocket. Here. Easy through it. Back. There you go. That's exactly it, dude.
I think the biggest thing, the most repeating thing he said to me, because I struggled with it at one point, was like lead, be a leader. And that's a very important part of being a quarterback.
I just check in with him, and I try to gauge myself off of how he's feeling. So halftime, when he comes out there and I talk, hey, how's it going? He's like, we're good, man.
Living under the same roof also gives the distinct advantage of knowing just which buttons to press and when.
I had only 1 interception the whole season, and going into the Choctaw game, I had thrown a pick, but I was having a good game, and then like everyone's on me, like, what are you doing? Like, why'd you do that? Why'd you throw that? And then I get on the headset, my dad's on it. He's like, forget that. Like, this is your 2nd pick of the year. Forget it. Just go out there and play. And then next drive, I'll go out there and throw a 70-yard touchdown to put us ahead on Choctaw.
I think those moments of knowing when, like, hey, don't worry about that, man. Just go be you. And I think having that relationship, that dynamic has been really helpful.
Other helpful relationships for Locklan have come from Will's time training collegiate and professional quarterbacks with Cortex Performance.
Touchdown? No, dude, I threw it so far inside.
He's almost desensitized to it now. Been able to hang out with, Brock Purdy, Anthony Richardson, Caleb Williams.
Seeing those guys that have done it are at that level that you want to get to. I mean, Caleb won a Heisman. Not everyone gets to hang out with a QB that won a Heisman for an hour and help you out with grip on the ball, like all sorts of things like that.
They share the same last name. They share the same passion. They share the same competitive spirit at the quarterback position. But they don't always share the same opinion, just like any other father and teenage son. Who throws the better ball?
Me.
Yeah.
And like, if we were to put pads on, I like myself over him too.
All right. Who's got the better spin now?
My highest spin rate, I like it over his too. I'm gonna keep going. I like me over him with everything. But he's molded me into that, so it's credit to him, I guess.
Student become the teacher.
Yeah. He's better than I was.
I got a trash can 20 yards down the field. You got 10 balls. Who makes the most? Center field, hold shot.
Me. That's no question.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you're a better football player, but I'm a better
I think
thrower.
when it's like that, I think honestly I'll give it to him. But if we were 4 quarters in a game, we're same exact team. I'm the QB on one team, he's the QB on another team. My team's winning. Like, that's when it comes down to that.